All right. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back. This is Ola. My name is Ola. I am the author of Smart Real Estate Wholesaling and the Real Estate Money Secrets. So, welcome back. Let's have some fun today. I got some interesting content I want to share with you today. We're going to bring some value. And if you have any questions, please feel free to chime in the chat. I'll be looking at the chat areas at some point. Okay. So now, with that being said, what's going on, my friend? This is Ola again. I'm the author of Smart Real Estate Wholesaling, the creator of 11 Days Challenge, the coaching program. So if you're here for the first time, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you share those things. Right. So thank you so much for hanging out. Now let's dive into it. I got a couple of content I wanted to share with you. Oh, by the way, if you're looking at the shirt Driving for Dollar Socks, you can find it at myempirepro.com/clothing. I think just go there, you find the link to it. All right. All right. With that being said, let's get in. Let's dive in. Let's see what we got going on today. All right. So the first topic we want to cover today is how wholesaling real estate works. Okay, let's talk about how real estate wholesaling works. Okay, real estate wholesaling or wholesaling real estate, same thing, is essentially a real estate investing strategy. Okay, the real estate investing strategy. But what is the meaning of wholesaling? Wholesaling essentially is when you buy goods and services at bulk price, right? When you buy it from a source that's closer to the origination of the goods and services. When you do that, especially goods, right? You tend to be able to find it at a cheaper price. Okay. So that creates room for you where you can have inbuilt equity where you can make some money from. Okay. And also you can sell that equity. So let me break it down into very simple layman language here. Okay. Wholesaling, let's say, for example, in a farm market, right? Farm market, wholesaling market, a wholesale market or farm market is a place that's closer in source to the origination, the point of origination of the goods and services or products, right? And because of that, you're able to save some money, okay? But once a retailer decides to purchase these goods and then sell buyers, right? Obviously, they want to make profit too, right? So the fact that they want to make profit, then they have to mark up the price of the goods and services or products, right? And that's what you call retail. So traditionally speaking, wholesaling is a type of trade where you essentially buy the goods a lot lower than the price you will buy it from a regular market. You buy it at a wholesale market. In real estate, is the same thing. So instead of you going through a realtor who is essentially going to make commissions, which is a camouflaged way of marking up the price. So the property that's $400,000, you know, a realtor is going to make 5%, 3 to 5% commission on that. That's about $20,000. So if the original source of the property is selling to you directly, they will be willing to sell for at least no more than $400,000 minus the $20,000 commission that would have gone to a realtor, right? So that's $380,000. But it's a little bit bigger than that. It's a little bit more, it's deeper than that, right? Because again, why would somebody want to do all the work of selling it themselves, right? Because it takes work to actually sell a property. You have to stage the property, you have to make sure the property is in good condition, and you have to be ready to show the property. You also have to have good negotiation skills. Those are the kind of things that an agent, a real estate agent or realtor will bring to the table to represent the interest of the seller. But if the seller has a house that's basic that needs work, right? Then it becomes a question of like, yeah, the house needs work. I don't care. I just need to get rid of it, right? Those are the kind of deals that you can find for wholesale. And by finding those deals, you're not only just going to pay $380,000 for a property that's actually worth $400,000 after repair, right? So put in $25,000 worth of work in it, that's 225, right? And you sell it for $400,000, that's $175,000 in gross profit. That's the whole point of real estate wholesaling. Actually, that's the whole point of real estate investing, right? But as a wholesaler, the way it works in real estate is a little bit slightly different, because this is not just to that are going through a distressed type of a piece of property that they need to get rid of, right? And you can simply go to them and offer them a price that makes sense. That price will be with. All right, so let's hope all is well. All right, so that price will be with respect to, let's see, let's just make sure that we're good. All right, we're good. That price will be with respect to what you could potentially sell the property for at the end of the deal, right? So let's say you know that the price of the property after repair value is $400,000. The way we do it is we find out what the 65% of that is. That's essentially about $260,000. The property needs about $25,000 worth of work. So that's 260 minus 25. And that's basically about what? 235. And you lock it up under contract. That's a piece of paper that says this, you have the right to purchase this property within a period of time. And then you basically take that piece of paper, you sell it to an end buyer. It's a right. Okay. There's something called equitable interest. There's equitable interest in that property. Basically, the right to purchase that property. You sell that to a person for $10,000. You just made $10,000. You didn't have to come up with any money towards the purchase of the property. Okay. However, it took some kind of skill set to find the property in the first place. And the idea is that you want to find multiple properties like this and make a living just finding deals for end buyers. That's what wholesaling is. Wholesaling real estate works. Okay. So let's move on to the next topic here. All right. The next topic is how to structure a real estate wholesale deal. Okay. So with the topic how real estate wholesale works, you already understand that you find properties, right? You find deeply discounted properties by simply targeting market people that are in distressed situation. Either the property is distressed, meaning it needs a lot of repairs, right? Or the ownership is distressed. The ownership is they can't afford to hold on to the property, so they need to get rid of the property. There are many reasons beyond just the house that could be happening. Some people just sometimes bite much more than they can chew. So there are marketing skills that you have to put in place to find this kind of homeowners and properties, right? So now let's say you've successfully found a piece of property, right? And you lock it up under contract. So there are 5 stages in this process, right? The 5 stages in this process is what you're looking at here. There's data, there's contract, there's contact, there's leads. You've generated a lead, meaning somebody said, yes, I'm open to selling you this piece of property. And then you negotiated a good deal, and then it's now under contract, right? All right, great. So you lock the property up under contract, and then it's time to pass that piece of paper, that contract, on to somebody else who will actually execute the deal. Okay. Now that person that will execute the deal has the cash. They are going to fix the property. They're going to repair the property. Potentially, they may want to hold on to the property and just be a landlord, right? That's their business. You just collect your $10,000 or $25,000, depending on how big or how sweet the deal is, and you just keep it moving, right? All right. So, how do you structure that? Okay. There are a couple of ways to structure it. Okay. There's something called the assignment. Okay. You can structure it as an assignment, which means it's the same contract that you assign over to the end buyer. Okay. That's one. Another way to structure is something they call the double escrow or double closing, okay, or some people call it back-to-back closing, okay. What that means is essentially you purchase the property and then you sell the property right away on the same closing table to another person, okay. Um, That's absolutely legal. Now, there are certain financing structures that won't allow that because people can take advantage of that and do it in mass and take advantage of people, right? So you'll find that if there's a use of mortgage in any of the transactions, mortgage companies will not allow this kind of situation. If there's a short sale that was agreed upon, let's say a bank agreed to sell your property for $120,000. The bank, of course, does not want you to be selling the property immediately for a profit of $15,000. That's the money that's supposed to come to them because a short sale means they already took a loss. They want all the money that's going to come from the closing period. Okay. So they will not allow that. Another situation where they won't allow just assignment deals or even double closing is a situation of REO, right? REOs, they're essentially real estate owned properties. Okay, they're real estate owned by banks. Okay, and for the same reason, the bank don't want to. They already taken a loss on those properties. They foreclosed. They lost money. They just want all the money they can get from it. So because of that, they will restrict the title transfer of the property, and they don't want you flipping the property so quick, right? They don't mind you making a profit from our property, but like on the same table, they frown at that. Okay, so double closing for the most part is restricted to cash deals. Okay, because the people that's buying the property, they don't care as long as the property has money and equity in it and they can make money. They don't care how you structure it, right? And it's all cash, and there's more than enough people doing cash deals. Okay, so basically the way it works is that assignment deals, if it's going to be more than $10,000, especially more than $15,000, uh people are going to frown at that. They don't want you to make that kind of money. Okay, so if you know that your profit is going to be potentially more, like my highest I've made up to date is $82,000 from one deal. In that kind of situation when it's much more than $15,000, it's best that you go with the structure of double closing or double escrow. That way you protect two different transactions. You will incur cost of two different transactions, but that's okay. The money is in the deal, and you simply sell the property once you acquire the property. Now, back in the days, we were allowed to use the same cash coming from the end buyer to do both transactions, but these days there are restrictions to that. But there is also a very easy solution to that. They're called transactional funding. Okay, that you can literally Google transactional funding and they come up all over the place. Basically, they will give you money to do a deal and they will charge you 1 or 2 points, meaning 1 or 2% of how much money they gave you, and they will take that money back the same day. So it's like they gave you $100,000, they're gonna get $102,000 back from you. It's worth it for them. It's just basically flipping the money really quickly, and that keeps the deals clean. That way, you use a separate cash for the first deal, and then you pay them their money back, and you sell the property right away to another person, and you keep your profit. Okay, so case in point, let's say you purchase the property for $80,000. Somebody is now willing to pick up the property from you for $120,000. That's a $40,000 spread, and that's much more than $10,000 to $15,000. Hard money lenders, they don't want to do deals that have so much spread going to a wholesaler in their mind for doing nothing. Of course, you did something. You marketed to find the deals, right? You spend a lot of time marketing to find these deals. But again, don't worry about the politics of it, right? Just keep the deals separate. You're purchasing a property and you're selling it to somebody else. You have transactional funding to fund the deal, and you keep it moving. And then the person that's buying the property have their own cash, bring it to the table, or hard money lending, bring it to the table, right? If it's all cash deals, basically anything goes. Okay, as long as the lawyers and the attorney and the closing agent they're okay with everything, you just let them worry about the legalities. You just find deals. Okay, so now how to structure a real estate wholesale deal. This is a topic usually beyond the scope of what I teach here. I teach you how to market, how to find these deals. That's how you get paid. You get paid from learning how to find deals. You don't get paid for finding the right contracts. You don't get paid for learning how to structure deals. You get paid for creating results. Okay. So how do you create results? You find good deals, find them in mass, create a pipeline of leads into your business every day, and you could do everything else wrong. You'll get paid. Okay. You get paid because there's more than enough people looking for, they will help you do the deal because you learn how to find a deal. But if you are just busy spending your time on LLCs, contract, and stuff like that, probably going to fail anyway. Okay, because again, you're missing the point. Money comes from only one place, from people. Okay, not even from properties, from people that control properties, and those are the people you need to be spending your time finding. All right, so let's go on to the next topic. The next topic here: how to wholesale real estate online. So in fact, in my opinion, this is the only way to do it. Okay. As a matter of fact, there's no such thing as offline anything anymore. Everyone on the internet. So even let's assume that you know how to do this the old school way. You know how to find real estate deals. You know how to find contract, lock up on the contract, flip the contracts, and all this good old thing. When it gets to the time that you have to liaise with the title companies to structure the deal to get the deal closed, all of those people are going to be communicating with you for the most part by email. Okay, so there's no such thing as offline. This is just a mindset shift that most people need to really, really speed up and get to it and step up their game really quickly. There's no such thing as offline, but I get it. Let's just focus on the marketing part of it. Offline is when you pick up the phone and you start cold calling a bunch of strangers and they're crushing you out, right? Or offline is you just jump in your car, you put some gas, and you start driving around town, even though driving for dollars sucks, right? But somebody sold you on the idea that you could just drive around and make $25,000. You saw some testimonials, real stories, and you feel like you could do it. But the truth is that your chances of doing that is slim to almost none. Okay, why? Because you don't have marketing skills. Okay, if you don't have marketing skills, you're gonna fail at this. It's as very simple as that. Actually, the worst part is that you can actually get lucky and close one deal, and then you still fail, and then you'll be looking for the next deal for the next 50 years, right? So you don't want to be in that category. So the key thing is you want to become a marketing master. You want to become a master at marketing. Okay. So, and the best way to do that these days is all online. So how do you do that online? That question comes down to, where are the attention online? Okay. Well, the first step is text messages. Text messages are good, right? The only thing is that a lot of people get attached. The only text message is that a lot of people get attached. Okay, you don't want to get attached to the outcome when you send a text message to a potential seller. Okay, you're looking to generate leads. Okay, it's basically some will, some won't. So what? Next. That's SW 3 times and then next. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's a numbers game. Just focus on the numbers. Don't get attached. Don't use gimmicky stuff. You simply ask people if they are open to selling a property that you've identified. If they can give you one of like 80 different answers. They may say, who are you? How'd you get my number? Yes, what's your offer? They could say F you. They could say screw you. They could say all those different things. Doesn't matter. It's a numbers game. Okay. So, by the way, texting people can be quite manual. Well, there's some other tools out there where you can do it in mass, but it can be manual. Okay. But that is still very much like a proactive way. Like, it's not attraction marketing. I enjoy attraction marketing better, where I put out a bait and then let people come to me. Okay, basically fishing as opposed to hunting. That's what I enjoy doing for the most part. That's why I spend most of my energy. And I've been in places over the years where I doubted myself. I said, you know what? Let me be a little bit more aggressive. Let me see if I can create some more results by doing the aggressive stuff, get proactive, learn all the closing tactics. And I learned all those things. And I'm very good at them. I can close people on the phone, same skills, even on the phone, attraction marketing. But here's the thing. I thrive better. I move faster. I spend most of my resources, the most important, which is time, on creating content, on creating ads to attract the people that need what I have to offer the most. And that's the best thing you can do on the internet. So the best platforms right now, as we speak, is Facebook and Instagram. Okay, Facebook and Instagram, and there are quite a few reasons why it's if you're going to learn that skill, because it's worth it. Okay, so you have data, you have contact, you have leads, contract, deals. When you learn how to do this on the internet, basically you can skip stage one. Okay, because the data is right there. It's basically people using internet, they're using Facebook, they have all their data in the hands of Facebook. Facebook has all their data, they know their interests, they know what they're liking, they know where they live, they know what zip code they live in, they have all the information about them essentially. And for pennies, a lot cheaper than you would if you were hanging out bandit signs, a lot cheaper if you factor in the time that it takes you to figure out all this other manual stuff, right? So you skip stage one, stage two, you stage two, you skip that because you're not the one initiating the contact. They're the ones seeing your ad and initiating contact with you. When they initiate contact with you, that's essentially jumping all the way through stage three. That's a lead. Okay. And all you have to do is process that lead, which means consult with them and see how you can help them, how you can help them solve their problem, lock it up on the contract. And stage five, everything is done online these days. You can do it on Facebook, well, text messages as well. All the information is online of all the existing cash buyers in the market in the last umpteen years, right? We're also buyers, right? So all of that is done online, okay? But the only when you focus on wholesaling real estate online, you only have to worry about stage three and four. And you have to do that over and over and over and over again. And then you're in the game and you're closing deals. And all those people that take care of one, two, and five, there are people that basically love you to death because you're bringing all these deals to the table. All right. So that's how to wholesale real estate online. It's very simple. It's the same process, except that you're skipping one, you're skipping two, you're jumping all the way through three, which is you generated a lead, you lock it up under contract, and then back online to find the right buyers. Okay. There's data everywhere of all the existing proven cash buyers in any market in the United States. And all you have to do is contact every single one of them. Just be aggressive with that because you have a deal in your hands. Worst case scenario is they'll tell you that this is the number I'm willing to pay for it, right? But that's the game right there. So how do you do this? Again, we have trainings on how to market on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. You set up ads on there and you just let the ads run. You can spend, I mean, you're spending $20 per lead, potential lead. That's a person reaching out to you. So think about you putting $20 in the gas of gas in the car and driving around town, and then nothing happened. And basically, you end up with a bunch of leads that you're supposed to cold call for the next 1 week, and then nothing happened. Right? It's extremely frustrating. But when you spend $20 on Facebook or Instagram, you know that this is a lead. This is a person that's interested in selling a real, ready, motivated. All you have to do is have a conversation, build a rapport. Just be human. You don't have to learn any kind of crazy tactics. Just be human, and then you sign a contract, and then you do that over and rinse and repeat over and over again. We have 11 days challenge to Facebook ads also in back end system, so you could go ahead and go through that. Let's go to the next topic. I think the next topic is a question. Let's see here. How much do real estate wholesalers make a year? All right, so this is not a job. Can we keep that clean, right? Just make that clear right now, okay? This is building an empire, okay? How much a wholesaler makes a year depends on so many factors. So there's no like given number that everyone just makes a year. What I can tell you is that the people that are succeeding the most in this, there are people that target $1 million a year, okay? That they just target the seven figures, okay? Because everything below that will basically, like, this is about building an empire. You have to be quite aggressive, not necessarily with the people, but with yourself, with regards to your entrepreneurship skill set, okay, with regards to marketing skill set, with regards to I need to learn everything I can learn, but also understand pacing. We're going to talk about that in a second, okay, because some people want to learn everything now, and that's the wrong way to go about it. But you want to learn everything is different from you want to learn everything now. That like the losers in the game want to learn everything now, but the winners want to learn everything at some point. But they understand, they pace themselves, they understand like this is a journey, this is a marathon, right? Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. So how much do real estate wholesalers make? Depends. I'll tell you, average wholesaler, which is a title that I don't really encourage that you ever use. You are in fact an investor. You're not really a wholesaler. As a title, okay, you're a wholesaler because wholesaling is one of the strategies you can use to close deals, okay. But you don't go to people, you don't go to homeowners, you don't go to realtors, you don't go say I'm a wholesaler. They're just going to look at you like you're just one of them, like one of those YouTube people that's basically calling calling realtors and wasting their time. Okay, you're an investor. You're looking for properties to buy. Okay, why? Because you're looking for properties to buy. Okay, because you're also building a network of cash buyers that can pick up this property. It's very, very important that you do that, because if you don't do that, again, a lot of people, you become a laughing stock in the industry. Okay, if you just walk around, especially when it comes to talking to homeowners, they don't know what that is. They're going to talk to an agent, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, some wholesaler called me. And agent is going to, most agents are haters of wholesalers. They're going to tell them like, yeah, those guys are scam artists, don't work with them. Okay, but if you say you're an investor and that's all the homeowner knows about you, which is the most important thing, which is the authentic thing that you are, because you're investing sweat equity doesn't mean you're not an investor, right? You don't have the cash to invest right now, but you're investing sweat equity. You're still an investor. Anyone understand that language, and that's what you should stick with. Okay. So the most wholesalers. So now let's go back to the topic. Most wholesalers make nothing in a year. How do you like that? It's just like agents too. Most agents, an average agent makes $8,000 a year, and there are agents that makes up to $2 million a year. Okay, this is entrepreneurship. It's about building an empire. Okay, so there's quite a range of what anyone can make in a year. It's completely up to individuals. It's about skill set. It's about your mindset. Okay, this is entrepreneurship. It's about building an empire. It's not about, if you bring a job mindset, a 9 to 5 mindset into this game, you will fail until you fix that. Okay, we're going to talk about job mindset in a second. There are certain questions that you're still asking that will tell on, like, you can use it as a measurement, as a measure of if you're still operating off of a 9 to 5 mindset. Okay, I'm going to give you those questions in a second. Those are questions that you're probably still asking, and it's probably, when you ask it, you have a long way to go. It's a mindset thing. Okay. All right. So with that being said, an average wholesaler makes nothing. Majority of them, okay, they're right now as we're speaking on the most popular videos on YouTube, and they're commenting. They're in the groups. They're commenting, or they're being fanboys of the gurus. And that's okay. You know, some people have to go through that process before they actually say, you know what, I need to execute. It's time for me to take some actions, right? And that's just the process that everyone has to go through. As I never went through that, honestly, but some people, a lot of people have to go through that until they wake up one day and say, you know what, I need to take this serious. I need to start executing, as opposed to just watching every video that of people driving around for no reason, right? Or vlogs and stuff like that. They're just entertained by the idea, but they're not willing to put in the work. And sometimes it's camouflaged as, I'm just not ready, I'm waiting, yeah, I need to be motivated. They say all these different things, fancy words, but it really comes down to they're not ready. And that's okay. Okay. All right. So how much money do they make per year? Average is zero. Okay. And there are people obviously making $2-3 million per year doing wholesaling, but never wholesaling, because again, wholesaling expands out to so many things. Again, this is the best way to find the best deals for your portfolio, even if all you want to do is buy and hold and rent. This is the best way for you to find the best deals, because you're literally closer to the source of this product. Remember, the product, the goods, and the services. So therefore, you're the one that's finding the wholesale deals by simply learning the skill set. Okay, and what is it? It's just marketing. It's marketing. Everything else is just fulfilling all righteousness. But if you learn how to set up marketing campaigns to target people that potentially need to get rid of a property, then you're in the game. It's as simple as that. Okay. All right. So let's go on to the next topic question here. Questions: at what age can you wholesale real estate? Okay. So there's a lot of new kids on the block. Okay. Young kids. My children are actually one of them. I have a 12-year-old and I have a 10-year-old boy, and I have a little baby, almost 2 in a few months. But my boys, they're getting to that space where they are just a lot smarter than I was when I was their age. Okay, and that's just where we are. So you have a lot of new teenagers just being entrepreneurs. Back in the days, what that was you sell lemonade in front of the house, right? But these days, these kids are learning a lot more, and they want to know, at 15, at 14, can I start wholesaling? The answer is yes. Okay, but there's some restrictions I should point out. Okay, there's some things, not restrictions per se, but some things to be aware of that I should point out. When it's time to cut a check from a title company, okay, depending on what state you live in, there may be restrictions to cutting a $30,000 check for a 50-year-old. Okay, so because of that, you probably want to involve your parents and say, hey, this is what I'm involved in. I'm looking for deals. Mom and dad, would you like to purchase this property if I find a good deal? I mean, the way it works, learn the skills, okay? Learn the skills. Like right now, the way our system is set up, anyone can get in, okay? Anyone can literally pay a few dollars and learn this stuff, right? Learn the skills and then let them know, like, hey, I'm actively campaigning. I'm looking for properties right now. Dad, would you like to take a look? You want to involve them. You want to involve them because, again, when it's time to cut a check, the title company may be like, are you 18? You're not 18? Okay, we need a parent. Because why? Because that money you're about to make, somebody must pay taxes on it. And it's not going to be the title company, okay? And it's not going to be someone under 18 either, right? So just want to involve them and just bring them along, even though you're the one running the business. You just want to bring them along and let them know, hey, I will find it. This property is worth $400,000. Dad, I just found a property for $150,000. Would you like to take a look? It needs work. It needs $20,000 worth of work. Of course, there's no restrictions to how old you have to be to call a homeowner, which I don't like that idea, but to send a text message and say, hey, you own this property as 123 Main Street. Are you open to an offer? Or setting up a campaign on Facebook. Setting up a campaign on Facebook probably needs an adult to set up a business account on Facebook. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Like all this paperwork and stuff like that, you will need to have a parent, a guardian who is more than 18 who can help you with that. But the truth of the matter is that, again, this is entrepreneurship. This is about building an empire, and there's no age that you have to be before you can start. You can start as soon as you can comprehend what we teach when it comes to smart real estate wholesaling and the 5 stages of it and how to operate the processes of the system in all those 5 stages. As soon as you can comprehend that, you're ready to go. Okay. All right. So now those are the subtopics that I have today. If you're interested in coaching from us, you go to 11dayschallenge.com and get started. Okay. Now, there's a couple of things that came up. I've meant to do this video I've been wanting to do this video for like this topic I'm about to cover right now. I've been wanting to do it for easily 5-7 years. I just never got to it because I just felt like it's not worth. For a long time, I felt like it wasn't worth my time. I'd rather focus on the people that want to be serious, that want to get things going. But I figure I should just put this out here and just have it sit here on YouTube, on Facebook. That way I can reference it. So this topic that I want to cover right now is called the 7 terrible questions to ask a potential coach. Okay. So if you want to hire a coach, okay, first of all, you should be convinced. I'm not talking about empirical data facts proven that they're the right coach. No, such things don't exist. Okay. You feel it here. If this person is going to be your coach, you just feel it in your heart. You know it. You just feel that connection to them. Okay. Like there are tons of people that go through my channels, my multiple online properties online that just never do business with me. And that's fine. Okay. If it's only one nugget they pick up from here, I'm okay with that. There's a lot of people that go and come back and say, you know what? I watched your video and they're now $4 million earners per year. I have quite a few people like that. Okay. They didn't really go through everything, but they went through here. They picked up one nugget and like that. And that's the beauty about this. That's why I love doing this, because it's not about you must be my coach. But if you're going to hire a coach, you will know from here. Okay. But here are some terrible questions to be asking a coach. I know most people will tell you there's no such thing as a bad question. There's no such thing as a terrible question. Many people will tell you that customers are always right. The truth is that all those things are right. All those things are absolutely right. Okay. You're right. There is no bad questions. But I'm telling you right now, you'll push a potential good coach away with these kind of questions. Okay. You know why? Because most good coaches, they are marketers. So they don't really need any one particular individual. Okay. They're reaching millions of people at any point in time. Literally, right? So the idea that when they miss you, they just miss you, you just may be the person that's missing out. So just in case you want to avoid, you don't want to miss a potential opportunity, right? Then let me share this. Allow me allow me to share this with you. Okay, if that's okay, allow me to share this with you. And you just want to note this question. I'm going to put these questions here for you, but I'm also going to give you different nuances, why they may not be so terrible, but why it may be deemed terrible. Okay. And when a potential coach deem this question terrible, what they do is they don't come back at you and tell you that's a terrible question. They will never tell you that. They won't tell you you're asking a terrible question, because again, that's not politically correct. So they're not going to tell you that, because potentially you could still be a customer, right? So, but for my experience, when people ask these questions, they end up being bad customers. Okay, they end up, for the most part, not always, but for the most part, they end up being, they consume a lot of energy. Okay, and the people that tend not to ask these questions, that doesn't mean they can't be bad customers. I'm just letting you know that these questions right here, you want to be able to frame different way. You want to be able to frame that. They're literally mindset driven questions, honestly, but you just want to be aware of them and see if there's ways you can work them around your journey into your journey. Okay, because your journey is at the end of the day, it's a marathon. It's not about your first deal. I had to break that to you. I know you caught the energy of, you dropped the Kool-Aid of one deal away. I did too. Okay, but after one deal, I realized quickly, like, nah, this is not about one deal. It's about building a business so I can do it over and over again. It's about learning the skill set so I can repeat the process over and over again. That's one of the reasons why driving for dollars is terrible, because the few people that close any deal from it, they get lucky ones, or maybe there are people that hire drivers, right? But again, that's not you driving personally, okay? But different topic. I have a whole series on driving for dollars on my YouTube channel. So the first question that you don't want to ask is this: is there anything else to buy? Okay. Don't ask this question from a potential coach. Okay. Because what that means is that you're trying to know everything that there is to know along the journey that is in fact going to be a marathon. Okay. Like, check this out. If this was going to be easy, if it was easy, everyone else would be doing it, right? So clearly, there's going to be stuff along the journey, not just for you, even for the coach. Okay, even for the coach, they haven't figured out everything else yet. Okay, there's tools that change every day. The tools that we use will change. Some tools just go obsolete. That's that's pretty. That's not far fetched, right? Tools can go obsolete, right? They just don't work anymore because the API, it was connected to Google, and Google broke that API. You're not allowed to use it anymore. There are many companies that have gone on there, and then we go to another tool. We find alternatives around it. Now, here's something that entrepreneurs do. They understand that from the get-go. So they don't be like, oh, the tool wasn't working yesterday, but it's not working today anymore. They know that that's just a fact of life. That happens sometimes. So it's quite impossible to answer the question, is there anything else to buy? Okay. And I know what you're thinking. You're saying, no, I mean, like right now, you want me to buy something else right now. There's always the answer. The actual obvious answer is that there's always something else to buy. Okay. It may not even be the upsell of the coach. Okay. Because the coach may be selling to you right now $5,000 program, right? That doesn't mean you're not going to buy other stuff. That doesn't mean they're not going to recommend other stuff that will make your life easier. But the key word is make your life easier. And yes, sometimes those things are attached to affiliate products that they make money from too, to help them sustain the business that they're running, right? But at the end of the day, even though the question is not terrible, it may be deemed terrible, meaning they may shy away from the idea of working with you, period. And that may just be the coach that was going to help you through the journey. Okay. So don't go around. I understand it. A lot of people have bought a lot of products. They go inside, they notice there's more stuff to buy. There's always something to buy. There's always something to buy. And a lot of people have gone through all those platforms, and then they're kind of soaked up, and they're tired of buying all these tools that they never need. Unfortunately, that's the journey that most of us went through. Okay. It's just the necessary evil of the game. Okay. However, if I sold you something for $2 and you know what my time is worth, if you could just guess what my time is worth, clearly that's not how I feed my family. Clearly, I may be just doing business the old-fashioned way. I want you to taste it and see if you like it. If you like it, you move further, even further inside. Okay. but only because you will still be served. Okay, only because you will still be served in that process. But if you're stuck on, is there anything else to buy? See, that defensive mode is only going to kill your business and your journey, not mine, but yours. Okay. Plus, again, if you ask me that question on a private chat or something like that, I just don't answer it because there's always something else to buy in your journey of building empires. You may just find that you don't like the chandelier in the building, the castle, and you want to change it. That will be completely optional, but that is still something to buy. You may say, you know what, I don't like the lawnmower that's in the garage. I need to buy and upgrade it, right? That will be completely up to you. I may say, you know, that lawnmower in the garage is not yours, it's mine. I'm going to take it away. If you want to buy, you can buy it from me, but you still love the house. You still love the house, you can buy it. So it's a mindset thing. Expensive thing. It's a mindset thing. If you bought enough stuff around the internet, I get it. I know it can be frustrating, but don't ask a coach or a person that's about to sell you a training program. Don't ask them, is there anything else to buy? Um, you may just be in front of the right coach and you push them away because they don't really have to deal with you because you're just one individual among so many millions of people that they're exposed to. The second question is, how soon can I close a deal? I get it too. Like, who doesn't want to know how soon you can close a deal? But remember, this is about building an empire. When you come to this platform here, I'm the first to tell you, like, listen, you're not one deal away from changing your life. You're one deal away from a proven concept. That's about it. Okay. You prove that the concept works, but there is actually a good chance, I'm telling you the numbers, the statistics, that you will never close a deal after that one any longer. Not here, because I will show you a system that you can repeat here. But for other platforms out there, there's a very good chance that you'll do one deal and you never do a deal again. Because again, they're teaching things like driving for dollars, they're teaching things like knocking on doors, things that basically reduce your chances of consistency, keeping it simple and consistency, the two secrets of winning this game, right? So because of that, I'm the first to tell you, no, you're not one deal away. Don't ask question, how soon can you close a deal? If you need a job, go find a job, okay? Because if you have to look over your shoulder as bills chase you down when you're trying to build an empire, you will get frustrated out of the business, okay? If you close a deal right away, it's a setup for failure, okay? If you close a deal 6 months later, it's still a setup because your faith will be tested. This is entrepreneurship, okay? It's well worth it. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, it's worth it. That's why you're here, right? But I'm telling you, your faith will be tested, okay? I'm telling you that there's going to be moments where you feel like nothing is working. Like, even though they told me I'm going to close the deal, I saw 2 testimonials yesterday. How come it's not happening for me? You're going to have those moments. Even after you close 2, 3, 4 deals, you're going to have those moments. You know why? Because you are a winner. You're a champion. You're separated from the mass. And you're testing waters that most human beings will never test. And comes with that is what I'm telling you. Your faith will be tested. So a mindset shift for a second here. Don't come to me, ask me how soon can you close a deal. Ask me how soon can I learn how to market. Okay, how soon will I generate my first lead? Okay, because keep in mind, look at this thing right here. Okay, this thing right here. Ask me how soon can I generate a lead? Okay, how soon can you generate a lead? That's like reachable. Okay, there's something called SMART goals, right? Something called the SMART goals, which is specific, measurable, attainable, right? Reachable, and trackable. You can track it. How many deals can you close? There's only so much you can do, especially if you're a beginner, right? But if you can track how many leads, how soon can I generate the leads? How much would I have to pay per lead? Those are the kind of questions you should be asking because it's attached to the process. Okay? You have to be obsessed with the process, not the results. Okay? Results oriented is a good thing. But again, everything can be bastardized. When you get to a point where result is all you're thinking and you don't want to hear anything about the process, you're not going to win in entrepreneurship. Okay? All right? You have to love the process. You have to be obsessed with the process. You have to be obsessed with lead generation. Forget LLCs, forget contracts. You have to be obsessed with lead generation. Okay? So a better question is, how soon can I generate a lead with what you're about to show me? That's a better question. How many leads can I generate in a week? That's a better question. How much would I be paying per lead? How much do you pay per lead? Anybody should be able to answer that question. Lead is about $1,500. A lead typically converts about 50%, meaning for every 2 leads you get, they should be able to answer that question. For every 2 leads you get, you're probably going to close a deal at $10,000. You pay $10,000. You pay $1,500. You make $10,000. Net profit $8,000. It's a good day. Mindset shift. Okay. It's one of the reasons why the previous question. Am I going to buy anything else? Most of the things you're going to buy here are under $100. Most of the tools that you will need to make this business work, like you have if you're paying for what do you call it? If you're paying call rail, that's $50. If you're paying for DocuSign, $50, $40, all this stuff are under $100 each. So for me personally, I need a kind of person that understand that all the online tools are all under $100. So if you have 2 or 3 of them that you're working with at any point in time, you can close a deal. That's still significantly a good return on investment. So I don't like entertaining. Personally, I don't like entertaining a person that's stuck on how much money do I have to pay? Is there an upsell? Like all these kind of questions. I don't like it, and I know that most of my friends in the industry don't like it. They don't tell you that, they shy away from it. Okay. So if you have a coach, avoid this kind of question. The better question is the process. What is the breakdown? Oh, so leads, right? Understand what a lead is. A business person know what a lead is. If you don't know what a lead is, you have no business chasing after deals. All right. So let's go on to the next one. The next question here is, how many other programs do I need to sign up for? Like I just said, assume it's 20, and assume that each one of those will cost you $15, $40, $5, $10, whatever. Assume that. Just assume that. If you can't assume that, you're probably in the wrong game. You need to go back to a day job, and that's okay. That's okay. We need everyone everywhere. Okay. We need a full-blown ecosystem. That's what makes up a society. But when you come into entrepreneurship and you're about to hire a coach, don't ask them up front, how many programs do I need to sign up for? It's discouraging, okay, to yourself, not to them, because they're going to avoid you. Remember, it's not nothing for them, because they get that all the time. Because again, majority of people think that way, but you're not trying to be majority of people. You're trying to be the few chosen one that will win big in this game, right? So they get that question a lot, so they know how to, it's now like a subconscious filter. They don't even answer to it. Okay, it stops before that kind of question stops before you get to them. Okay, so again, just assume that this journey will cost you money. Okay, this is about learning how to market, set up campaigns, and it will cost you money. Facebook is going to charge you money for every click you click, right? For every, even when you think you hung a bandit sign, you spent this $150, you're actually paying a certain amount of money for every car that drives by and sees it. It's just that most people are so amateur that they don't measure that. But if you measure it, how many cars drove by that? It could be 1 cent, it could be half a cent, whatever that is, before they pull down the sign. Whatever the number is, you need to be obsessed with that number, because again, SMART goals. Trackable is the T in SMART, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, reachable, trackable. You need to be able to track the process, not how many deals. The deals are not going to come if you don't know the process. Okay, and if it does, you just got lucky. Terrible place to be in. It's a setup for failure. Okay, setup for just disappointment. Okay. All right. The other one is, can you tell me all the tools that I need? Similar. No, I can't tell you all the tools that you need. As a matter of fact, I may say this is a set of 2 right now, 5 that I give you today, recommend tomorrow. Tomorrow I may wake up. That's entrepreneurship. It's dynamic. Things can change. They can shut down the platform. They can change the design on a platform. The button may used to be here, and the button has moved to the corner or behind the menu. And if you're not ready for that kind of, if you're not ready to be resourceful in that sense, don't bother. It's not worth it. You're just gonna burn yourself up and burn yourself through the industry and never make a dime. Worse, you make a little bit, but when you look at how much you spent, it's just a whole lot more. Start with step 1. Get focused on step 1 of the process. Understand it conceptually, understand it, and then move on to the next stage, and then to the next stage. And because when you do that, you are now above everybody else in the game. Most other people that are trying to win in the game, just by taking the time, being patient, and going through that process. Nothing worthwhile comes like that easy, like that. I know they've sold you the easy thing, like, oh, just close deal and just make money. I know they sold you on that. It will still feel that way when you close that one deal. I promise you. It will still feel like, wow, thank you, goodness, right? It will still feel that way. But I'm telling you, it's a process. Okay. Next one here is, where do I find a sales and assignment contract? So this question represents anything you can Google. Anything you can Google, don't ask your potential coach. Okay. Why? Because they're going to shy away from the question and won't answer it, because you can literally Google it. Okay. Anything you can Google, Google it before you come and ask. Because again, the kind of coach you're looking for is not worth their time doing the back and forth questions that Google can answer. They're not going to answer it for you. If they could answer, if they have that kind of time available, it's probably the wrong coach for you. Okay. Because clearly they don't value their time. There's an oxymoron there a little bit. Just think about it. If it was worth their time to go back and forth and answer questions, little questions like, so what is real estate wholesaling? Like, they're not going to answer that. That's too broad. Like, that's like anything you can Google. Don't ask a potential coach. Okay. This, I guess, is a good question, but it may be deemed terrible, or it may be deemed, I wish I could answer, but let me keep it moving this direction, because I need to feed my own family too, right? So I don't lose my business on this end, right? So let's go on to the next one here. Can I pay you from the profit that I get? Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Some people actually say, hey, yeah, I know your program is $5,000, but what if I close the deal first? Since you said we make $25,000 per deal, right? I close the deal. I promise I got you, man. I'm going to be the best hardworking person on your team, blah, blah, blah. They see all this kind of stuff, right? Remember that the right coach has access to millions of people in terms of marketing. Like, they have that, right? So why would they want to, like, why is that a good bargain for them? Where's the value for them, right? There's no value in that. Okay. And if you understand the 3 core pillars that I share in this book, which you should read 10 to 15 times, the first core pillar is value. You should always be asking whoever you're interacting with, you should always ask, what is the value that I'm bringing into this person's world? Because it's value for value. That's how you're going to get value out of it, right? You should always be looking for where to invest. It could be your time, sweat equity. It could be a little bit of extra effort. It could be because you invest a little time in Googling the answer first, and then the answer is going to be that even much better when you do get one, right? Where is the value that you're bringing to the table? Because if you don't bring any value to the table at all, there's nothing to multiply. There's nothing to multiply. You're basically multiplying with zero. And when you multiply with zero, guess what happens? You get zero. All right. Let's get this last one here. This last one says, can I have access to everything on immediately? Yeah. Okay. There's no such thing as everything immediately. Like, you remember same thing I said about tools, right? Tools, the program, how many upsells do you have back there? Those things change because, again, we are marketers and we're always changing and testing things. I may have an upsell yesterday, I may not have today, because I'm testing different things that will help me get the best return on my investment too, because all of this is a venture, right? So I'm always looking for ways to get the best return on my investment. So if you ask me, hey, do you have upsell? And I don't have upsell anymore, or I scratch that tool, I change the tool to make it easier for people. Even though the tool is easier, it's a little bit more expensive, but it makes your life a lot more easier. I'm not about to start discussing all of that detail. Those details belong in my spreadsheet, okay? And it's not like I don't want to be nice to discuss those details. I don't have the time. I don't have the time and resource to do that, okay? So the best thing is, like I said on last week, don't try to solve problems that you don't already have. Okay, there are 5 stages here. You should learn how to do stage 1 first. Learn how to do stage 2 next. Learn how to do stage 3 next, right? Learn how to do stage like that. Don't solve problem on step 5, like deals, right? What is the structure of the deal? What kind of contract should I use? That's essentially you jumping all the way through stage 5, and you don't even know how to generate a lead yet. Okay, you're wasting resources, and it's no wonder why you're not making money when you do things like that. And I still make those kind of mistakes, believe it or not. I make those mistakes, just maybe at a little bit of a higher level than an average person. But I have to like do that to myself sometimes. Say, hey, you're trying to solve a problem that you don't have. Let's go back. Let's focus on one thing. One thing. Like there's a book called One Thing by Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams. Okay, I think co-founder. It's called One Thing. You need to pick up that book and read it. Okay, it's called One Thing. It's a popular book, bestseller. It's called One Thing. It's the number one reason why most people fail at building anything worthwhile. Okay, one thing. It's one thing you should be focused on right now. What is that one thing? If you want to hire a coach, you feel in your heart that this is the right coach for you. Go ahead, pull the trigger, buy. Next, you found something else you're supposed to buy because they recommend, buy. Next, you can buy right now, figure out how to buy it. Figure out the next step. 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 That's how you win in this game. Come into the game with your champion mindset on, not a victim mindset. If you've gone through like 50 gurus sites and everyone tend to sell you upsells and stuff like that, and you bring that fear to the right place, but you're bringing the wrong energy to the right place, it will affect your journey. So I'm begging you, if you know that you have a chance and you're serious about winning this game, don't bring don't bring all kind of energy. Just stay focused. What is the one thing I need to do right now? Okay, there's another one thing presented to you. There's a little obstacle. Okay, they told me it's going to be $10,000, but I only have $8,000, so I have $2,000 more hurdle to jump through. Right? All right. Let me figure out how to do that. The heart of figuring out. That's something you need to master. Okay? When I tell you, go read this book 10 to 15 times, don't ask me why. You're trying to sell me stuff on every page. The answer is yes. I'm always trying to sell you something, but I know that if I sell you something that's bad for you, it will affect my business badly in the long run. So the only thing I will ever try to sell you is stuff that will add more value to your life. Okay, and when I say sell, it doesn't mean I'm selling you a product in exchange for money. I could be selling you an idea, just that you need to buy into a simple idea. Like for example, I'm always selling you attraction marketing, meaning spend your energy on places where you can just put out baits, like bait agents that will continue to attract money to you for a long time. Spend your energy on that because time is against you always. Time is the one resource that you don't have enough of. Okay. All right. So that's what I have right here. Ayobami. Thank you, my brother or sister. I'm not sure if that's a woman. All right. So yeah, that's all I have for you. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. If your first step is you want to get the books are free right now. They're still free. Go get them. You download them for free. Smart Real Estate Wholesaling and Real Estate Money Secret. Download them, read them 10 to 15 times. You're ready to start executing. You're tired of just soaking in content and you want to start executing right away. You want to simply go to let me show you that site in a second. You want to go to 11dayschallenge.com and you want to sign up. Okay, I don't care what the price is. We're always testing different prices. Sign up, get started. Don't ask yourself questions about your own business. How do I move forward? This is your business, not my business. Okay, because remember, even on the YouTube channel alone, right? On the YouTube channel alone, I'll get at least minimum of 200 views per day, per every 48 hours, minimum 200, about 250, 270 every 48 hours. That's exposure. So basically, I can't spend time trying to convince every one person. All I can do is put out value. And that's all I'm asking you to do. What value do you already have? Because you do have value already. What value do you have right now? It could be your desire. It could be your simple desire. I have a strong desire. I need to learn this stuff and I need to get started now. I need to start executing right now. Okay, this sounds good. Let me read the book first. Whatever you want to do is a decision as an entrepreneur, as an emperor or empress. This is a decision you're making for your own business, not mine, your business. Okay? Your business. And you make it like an entrepreneur. You make it like an empire builder, like a nation builder. You make that decision like that. You cannot bring a victim mindset and think you're going to build anything. And it starts with little things. We all have victim mindset. We all suck up and just emotional and sensitive sometimes. We all do, okay? But you don't want to have an overdose of it. And every time you just look, you're like sniffing, like somebody out to get you. Listen, I got over 800 videos on this channel. You could watch. You could just keep watching them until it clicks. You could just knock it and just what do you call it? Cherry pick all over the place until you close a deal. It's all the tips there. The first series of the first series of this particular series, from data to deals, was literally me logging into Empire Big Data and showing you how it works, how to set filters and stuff like that. You could master that and just start picking up slowly. You can go at your own pace. But all I'm asking you is that come into the game with your champion mindset. Don't bring the victim mindset. You're in control. Nobody's out to get you. Okay? Nobody's out to get you. Okay? I've been around this industry, including the internet marketing industry, for a long time. Some people do shady stuff. Don't let me say there are no bad people out there. Okay? But for the most part, when people create a course or you create a training and coaching, they're legitimate. Okay? There's no one single course I've ever purchased where I feel like I didn't pick up one thing. The first course that I purchased back in 2004 and 5 was a $3,000 real estate program. I only got one tip out of it that was useful up to today, and that was to go find a local real estate association. That's the only tip. But that tip has got me here right now, 15 years later. That's champion mindset. Oh yeah, I only got something. See, it's your outlook on life. It's your outlook on life. Do you lead with gratitude, or you're just always feeling something is out to get you? No one is going to share what I'm sharing with you. Most people would just probably put out a sales letter and just try to catch the suckers. But I care, and I'm not holy. I just wanted to put out this content, and to be frank, honestly, so I can share with more people as time goes on. If I had the time and they're acting like victims, I said, go watch this video. That's actually why I did it. But hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. Hopefully this blessed you. Hopefully you didn't see this as an attack, but you saw it as, you know what? I am in control. You're in control. Okay? You're in control always. You spent $2,000. The course was crappy. So, okay, we're talking about a journey where you can make 6 figures, 7 figures a year. So, okay, I don't want you to do that. I'm just telling you, so in the grand scheme of things, is that really a loss? Right? It's not. Okay, and I'm a living testament for that. All right. Let me say this one last time. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. I will see you on the next one, and peace.